Hello and welcome to the second episode of my Silly Survival series. And here we are loading into Minecraft. Yeah. But, so here we are once again. And now we're loading into my Silly Survival series. So, here are some tips that the game always gives you. And now the terrain's being built. All of the terrain in the world. Doesn't take much time though. And now the resources are loaded in. And let's go. So as you can see, since the last video, changes have been made. But my plan for this video is to mainly work on building the house. So we're going to build it in a rectangular outline, and we're going to finish out that outline before we build inwards and then build outwards. So now I'm swimming back to the building. I think he broke it. Oh, it's a drowned. So there's a lot of madness with drowns throughout the video when I'm trying to work on my house because it's above the water. But yeah, after seeing them, I decided to go back out to the water and keep working. Then, as it confuses me, I decided it would be better to go back on the land. Then I approach it with my axe and try to deal with it. So, after hitting it twice, it starts swimming away, and because I don't want to have to chase it drowned into the deep and be attacked by more, I think it would be best to let it go. So now we're going to continue building the house until now I have one heart left and I need to get it. So I end up, because the sun is setting, I end up trying to sleep by running down the wooden outline to my bed, which that isn't going to be the permanent location, it's just its current one. Then I fall back into the water and die to a drown. So now I must collect all my stuff. Collecting your stuff in water can be a bit of a hassle because you have to swim everywhere and get it all. So I just got attacked. Oh, that can't. So yeah, drowns are now attacking me and I have to escape. So after getting some of my stuff, that I have to escape from them by swimming away. So I ultimately decided that even if I might have some other loot, it's best to swim back to shore. And I climb out. And now I attempt to sleep again. This time with 2 more hearts than the last time. And also better at walking on over wood than I was at the last time. Then I go back there and decide I'll continue bridging from above ground and fall into the water again, where there are immediately multiple drowns ready to attack me. So after seeing 4 drowns and only having 3 hearts, I have to swim back and get all my stuff, including my iron, which is decently important because that stuff is kind of hard to find. So I'll have to get it. So it is something I should try to keep. So yeah. After running back to the bed, I get onto it and I click on it, but it of course gives me the dreaded You may now rest. Now there are monsters nearby. Notification. So we have and then I get sniped by a skeleton. So after I get sniped by it, I then try to duck on the water and get all my stuff back so I can't get hit by the bow again. Then it sees me, and I then decide because of the trouble it's been causing, I'll attack it with my axe. But of course, skeletons have aimbot, so you can't really attack a skeleton with a melee weapon. So I learned that the hard way when I died. And now it's just sniping me underwater. So, yeah. I have to madly dash over the water without getting sighted by the skeleton's aimbot to get all my stuff back. Then I end up swimming under the water to see some very interesting terrain generation to get all my stuff back. And of course I see a spinning group of drowns, each attacking me and backing me into a corner, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I immediately get my shovel and book it to the shore to get out of the water. I then fall back in and get back into keep dashing around. See all the drowned chaos. Get my stuff that's a bit further, and then I see a group of drowns chasing me. So I go under the water with one heart left, and I end up fleeing to the place a bit down the shore from my house. And this area, I'm not sure why, probably because of like chunk rules with mob spawning and such, has like a heck ton of animals spawn, has like no stuff spawning in it. And then I finally get the skeleton. And then a witch just kills me. And I must dive into the water without getting seen by it. So, yeah. And then I get poisoned by this witch. So, I must deal with the poison for however long I've been assigned to. Then I die. And I still want to get my stuff back. So I jump back into the water with the hope of not getting poisoned. And then I instantly get poisoned. But at least this time I started with more HP. And then I realized I still have 23 seconds left of it. So it just keeps bringing me down. And then as I run out of the field, it ends up stopping. And then I realize I still have 10 seconds left and only have one heart. And then it just freezes at half a heart. So that I end up coming out of poison and instantly dying in one hit to a bloody zombie. And I instantly get slowness and poison. Well, I still have so much stuff to collect. So yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. So, yeah. So now I'll get all my stuff to create. Now I'll get all my stuff before dying to poison. The poison's about to wear off, but I now am at half a heart, which is extremely annoying. And then I, for some reason, dive for the XP until I see how many zombies are there. I first kill that one, which just one taps me. I'm not sure what kind of hitbox madness would cause that. So, yeah. So then I keep getting all of my stuff. Which some of it has fallen into the zombie pit. isn't that until there's a second bloody zombie, and I ultimately hide in this tiny corner. And if you remember the first episode, this used to be a lava pit, but off camera, I ended up filling it in so there'd be no more lava in it. So now it's just gonna like flood it and turn it into a water pit with obsidian, so we can go to the nether. So, yeah. And we have to swim around and collect it. So, now, I have to get back up on my house and run a car. Get my stuff back until I realize I'm kind of sinking. And then I build a bridge, a sort of platform for me to stand on that will help me work on my house. Which is really good. So then I end up getting hit off the platform by a bunch of mobs, and then I'm immediately like, ah! And of course the creeper luckily went off in the water, which meant it did no damage. And now getting on the platform is impossible because there is a drowned chasing me. And then I died to it. So I immediately have to dive in to get my stuff and continue more housework. So, yeah. So immediately I'm stuck in the water being chased by many mobs. So I have to heal and also get my stuff back. And then I drown for some reason. Not sure why. So I have to get all my stuff once again, so I can continue working on my house. So, yeah. So I have to get back up on the ledge so I can keep building more and more wood. Until I end up thinking of going on the land, but then I go back out to keep working, and I see even more of those dang drowns. So now I'm in an underwater chase. So I go back up to the water and look out over the edge, just to see I still have some gunpowder in the water. So I finally pull myself out of the water so I can check for other stuff that I left until I see I did leave some, which is next to a wandering trader swimming in the water. But instead I end up trying to get more work done on my house for some reason. Mainly because I don't see any more mobs. So I get out my planks and keep working. And this time I'm a bit better at bridging until I fall into the water, if only one block placed. So I keep having to build more and more wood out. Until I see drowns come up. So I immediately try to place wood and escape and multitask. I take some damage and I jump out, and they're still within block placing reach, so I can still do extra work on my house. And then I place down a second support. And then I fall into the pit and get attacked by a zombie. Only for me to get out onto the land and build a second support beam in the corner. To jump into the water, get attacked by a zombie, and ultimately get out to run across the house so I can keep working on it. Yeah. So now I come up with the strategy of building inwards from an outer outline sort of to having an inner, to having it sealed on the inside. Like this. then I run out of logs, and this begins my hunt for wood. So first I go up over there because off camera I got some wood up there. Oak wood this is, because I am in a savanna and I want to have an oak house, and oak is rather hard to come by. So I come up to there, and if you're wondering why there's a bush, is because off camera I did mine that to get its logs. Until I see it, I do see the llama. I should have taken the saplings around it, but I didn't. And here's the village. It's been used a lot across the episodes, and I also use it as like a good landmark. So as I snake by its many farms, I then go down into this part, which I'm exploring in a weird way because I haven't really been to before. I go off here because I think there might be some more oak wood over it. So I see that oak tree. To collect its logs. So I get its logs. And then I end up breaking the leaves. And then I end up running down the side for it. So I run up here to mine down this tree, which is a very nice one tree hill, which is now 0 tree hill, but I'll probably end up planting a sapling on it soon. Then I see a massive oak tree over there, which is really helpful because I need a lot of oak logs to make a lot of oak planks to make my massive house. And then I mine out the leaves to get out some saplings. So I immediately run after the massive tree so I can get it. So I see this massive tree, which I think is great to get down. So after getting the wood, I decide I will ultimately go for the extra low-hanging wood. So after editing all of it, I end up seeing that there's still some wood out of reach. So I end up trying to climb the hill for it, but I can't. Then I ultimately try to find a small amount of water until I reel and think, wait, all that water could easily be connected. My spawn's probably on an island. So after doing that, I decide I will run off to my house, but I realize I'm sprinting really slow because I have absolutely nothing to eat. And my hunger bar is really low. So I end up eating some pork, or not pork, beef. And then when I'm still not full, I decide I'll eat raw rotten flesh, which gives me hunger. But it also makes me sprint faster. I'm not sure if that's like a glitch though. So I end up having to, with hunger, still dash through a cave, back up and out of it, past the village, which past another oak tree, which I do not end up mining, till I end up running this way because I kind of forgot which direction was my marker, was my landmark way. So I run up there. So I end up running till I look down there and see that was the ruined portal. With the exception of the obsidian, most of the valuables of that I did end up looting off camera. So I end up trying to find my way home. So yeah, I end up running through. I see that that's also not the direction home because it's basically the direction we came from after getting all the wood. Then I run through the cave again. And then I run up through the savannah back to the village. Till I see those two floating trees, which I remember are right in front of my house. So, with all my planks, this begins the house building process. So I run down to my crafting table. Actually no. I'm so ecstatic about getting work done, I accidentally place uncrafted logs. So after taking those out, I end up going to my crafting table to begin, with minus placing them down to begin the crafting process. So after realizing I have to get 94 planks, which is a lot, I could. So after crafting 64 and then an additional 20, I bring out to getting more work done on my house. So yeah, here's the work. So my plan is basically to build like smaller rectangles inward and inward over time to finish it. So I run up to the front and I start building back to there. So yeah, I build back all of the wood, and then I get back my wood plank to continue work on the house. Then after doing that, I ultimately decide instead of trying to get it back into the water, run up not the hill, the stairs. So weird. Not necessarily really. I build out more layers till all of a sudden I've basically fully layered it in. So I end up running forward and I ultimately start placing down more wood, so I can basically create a system where it gets more or less, where each layer takes less and less wood to make, so on and so forth. Till all of a sudden I've completed a completed floor. Here I end up building more out that way. Then I run out of that stack and I get my remaining 24. Then I fall in the water. So I climb back over the water and place down the wood And I run forward to continue placing that backwards. So after this breaks, I end up ultimately performing a daring maneuver and getting out the wood without having it fall into the water. That's much easier because it's not over water, so I end up getting it. And I keep placing down the wood until all of a sudden I start placing it back. And then I run out of wood, so I ultimately go back to turn my final plank into, or not plank, my final log into 4 planks to get some extra work done. So then I end up deciding I'll go off for more of a hike to get even more wood. So I end up running off past out of my house until I see all of the hostile mobs. And then a creeper blows up with all my stuff that I have to get. So I end up running back to see if I can get it. So I end up running off to my house, where I end up jumping over the water, seeing that the mobs have just stopped. Then I end up heading back out again. After getting shot by a skeleton who doesn't have aimbot, which is nice. So yeah, after being attacked by a skeleton that got its aimbot back, I die. And I fall in the water. And I fall in the water to ultimately attempt to run back to the... I see a very big glowing XP orb, which ends up coming back along with many other things, including my eye. I get even more stuff. I end up seeing the stuff up there, which I end up getting in the wharf wood in that bush system, which ended up before I end up getting shot by a skeleton, which alerts me to stop. So I run back to the village where I end up running to the water where I see someone sleeping, and I ultimately wake them up so I can sleep in their bed till I realize there are monsters here. Till I see the house get blown up by a creeper. There are still monsters nearby, probably like that zombie. So I have to run around the town. And probably across some chunk barriers. I remember that's the house I looted in the first video. So I end up running down to this big house. So I realize A, it has a hole in the floor, and B, it doesn't have a bed. Me, still looking for a house that has a bed, ultimately dashes off to this house. So then I end up running back off to my out of the base, and then I end up getting hit with a skeleton. And of course, I'm not the happiest because I always just have to go all the way back to the middle of the village from my house. So yeah. We just ran by that lava, so we're about halfway there-ish. So now we're at the loot, so we're back alive. So, yeah. Basically, I end up running back through this massive vertically stacked farm. Until I see a baby zombie. And so I end up climbing out to come back. And I ultimately fall all the way back just to get some more. Until I remember I still need a stone pick. So, because it's day and that means there aren't going to be as many mob problems until I get light on fire. And that happens, I run back to the village. Here I run around until I see the village once again, so I can get my loot. So here I see it. So I get all of it. And then I decide I've done what I've needed, so I need to go back to my house. So after mining the extra oak wood I found, I begin the walk back to my house. Which is extremely fast, nicely. So, yeah. I'm now back at my house. Yeah, I think I should have a chest. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.